you're hitting these plateaus in your professional life and or personal life, but you have goals and aspirations to be much greater.
Yeah.
You're looking through the curtain and you're like, well, how did they get that? We're all human beings. There's 24 hours in a day. You're not better than me. You're not smarter than me. You're not faster than me. You're not better looking than me, but you're killing it.
Yeah.
And so it starts to go like how to really break it down to like the first step of doing this and the fucking journey that it is of like self-development and how it has nothing to do with your company, with all, it's all about like pointing the finger back at you and being like, okay, how do I get better?
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Seed Time and Harvest podcast, where we hope to inspire you to stop focusing on the outcome and focus on the journey, because that's where the breakthrough comes. And this is episode 11. We're talking about busyness is not business.
Yep.
And I guess where this came from, like we've had a lot of chats over the past couple weeks on like, you know, you don't get less busy in life, right? Like nothing shrinks back, your capacity just increases. But if you do what you always done, you'll get the same results you've always had. And that's kind of where I'm at right now of like...
And go crazy doing it.
Yeah. It's like 3 kids now. The dad hat is what I'm wearing more than I think anything. I feel like my time for... I'm like, where did I spend my time before? Like I had so much time and now it's like, where did it go? But also my life isn't slowing down in any way, you know? And you hear a lot of realtors talk about, like, what's the thing everyone asks? Hey, are you busy?
Yeah.
I hate that, bro. That's like a pet peeve of mine. It's like... Well, you can be busy doing anything. And I get what you're saying. Yeah. It's like you're busy with clients and this and that.
Busy?
Yeah,
you staying busy?
But are you closing deals?
You staying busy?
Are you just coming to the office and just punching the clock here?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, are you efficient?
Yeah.
Or are you actually like just quote unquote busy, you know? So
well, real estate's one of the only businesses that's this big where you can be the busiest person that I know, and you don't get shit done.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think that you and I, we see it on our team, we see it in the industry, that you can fill your calendar with classes, you can fill your calendar with education, you can fill your calendar with pop buys or coffee dates or what. I mean, you could literally fill your weird phone calls. I'm going to do some Instagram. I'm going to send. You can get real busy.
Yeah.
And work, but like, what is it doing for you? Like, what are you netting?
Like, are you
netting
busy or are you productive?
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
And so, like, that's what I've been thinking a lot about. And one of my personal training clients when I lived in Chicago, I was blessed to be kind of the real estate trainer when I was there. And it kind of what's introduced me to real estate. It was like...
What do you mean? Like, you had your clients?
Most of my clients were in real estate or lenders.
Okay.
I kind of got into that network, and I would, like, teach the fitness side
at their events.
I
didn't know that, did I?
I don't know. Maybe. No, just more layers of the onion, you know? And that's what honestly, like, laid the seeds for me back, like, 2014, 2015. I was like, this is awesome. And so one of my top clients, he literally told me, like, Nate, you would be great at this. But I was just like so in my zone, like I gotta be a coach, I gotta be a fitness, I gotta dominate this. That's my only path. Like there's no one path to wealth or happiness or peace. It's like your journey is your journey, but like it's how you do it. Like how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? And so anyhow, I got introduced to the real estate world of like, man, like these people have a great life.
This was in Cali,
in Chicago.
Chicago, sorry.
Yeah. So long story short, shout out to Tommy Choi. That's my boy. He's a big time realtor in Chicago, and he just told me, he's like, if I stick to my activity, his calls, he doesn't do any leads, he doesn't do anything. His business is all referral based. He's like, I'll make 1.1 million commission per year. I'm like, interesting.
So he just has it down to a science.
Down to a science with his emails, with his gifting, with who he calls. He's become kind of like if someone needs a reservation at a restaurant, like some exclusive restaurant in Chicago, they call him. He's a master networker. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
that
what
makes sense,
he's kind of marketed himself as. But long story short, I remember him speaking at an event, and he said, the one thing that propelled me to where I am now is I got an assistant. I found someone for $45,000 a year. It's probably more than that now, but
it's probably double now.
Yeah, at least. But that person he said it enabled me to have more time with my family.
Yeah.
And he was able to like double his business. And was talking to Jason Cummings in here. Shout out to Jason as well.
Yeah,
good dude. He said the exact same thing. He's like, once I got an assistant, my business literally doubled.
Yep.
And I'm like,
same thing happened to me.
Success leaves clues, right? So it's like, watch successful people do what they do and do it the way you feel is in your integrity and real to you. And I've been thinking a lot about this because I've been getting kind of, I noticed my fuse is getting shorter. Like I'm kind of
with clients,
just kind of in general. Like
really?
like people in traffic. Like usually, like someone cuts me off. It's like,
it's
whatever.
like holding the door for someone. You're like, fucking say thank you.
Yeah. Hurry up, let's go.
Yeah.
And so it's like I don't want to live that way, dude. So it's
No.
like my life isn't going to slow down. Like I can't return my kids.
Something's messing with your peace if you're getting angry.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, do what you've always done. You'll get the same results you've always had. So you got to do things in a different way. And so it's funny how these conversations come back up or things you learned in the past. And it's like, well, I might have to start looking at that now because the business is going to keep coming. That's a blessing. I'm not going to shut that off. I just have to be better. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better.
Yep.
And we talked about that a lot of
Constantly.
times. So anyways, dude, that's me venting and getting it off my chest.
These are therapy sessions, bro. This is
No doubt.
my favorite part about these chats and these episodes is this is not a struggle that just you're going through.
Yeah.
Or I'm going through. Whatever we discuss on here, I think that it's there's a lot of people that have listened, that have reached out to both of us now, that have listened and been like, damn, dude, I didn't know that's why you didn't drink anymore. Everyone thought when I was telling people I didn't drink that that's because I was like some raging alcoholic, and I was like, no, man, I messed up my son. And then you're saying like, man, that's really powerful what you said. Oh my God, I was thinking that. So it's just I think that these really do help people, and this is why I will constantly do this, because I think the more vulnerable you and I can be on here, the more our audience is going to listen and be receptive to what we're discussing, because it's very difficult to be open about that stuff. Yeah. A lot of people just don't have the courage to do it, right? Like it's very, very hard. Being vulnerable and self-assessment is very difficult. To be like, I suck at this, or my fuse is getting shorter. How do I snap out of this, right? And a lot of it has to do with fulfillment. Am I feeling fulfilled in everything I'm doing? And no matter what you're doing, like whether it's your marriage, fatherhood, work, no matter how much joy those things bring us, they're all work. So even like busyness, like my busyness and your busyness right now, I would say you and I are probably going through some similar struggles in a sense of like work is always busy because we always have work.
Yeah.
Like real work, clients, people that need help. Like, you're not just trying to go generate business or figuring out how you're going to get your next client. You're managing your real business, real finances. Deals are closing, deals are blowing up. So I don't think you and I are struggling with like the busyness and business side of things and work. I think that you and I might just be speaking for me, so I'm sorry if I'm throwing you in here, but like when I'm being super dad and I'm making sure they're fed and I'm chatting with Haley and I'm holding the baby and I'm dealing with family life and I'm dealing with my dad and everything, that to me almost feels busier than work.
Yeah.
And it definitely more stressful.
Sure. You
know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be. And so I'm kind of in this battle right now of like why does fatherhood feel so stressful? Why does being a great partner feel so stressful? And it's not that I'm stressed. It's not like someone's pissing me off. It's just like, wow, like everyone's getting older, problems are changing, conversations are a little deeper, and then go from that pool to a baby, and Elle. Oh my God, Elle is so amazing, and Haley's such a great mom, but she's a new mom.
Sure.
Right? This is her first child, right? And then now she's kind of in like this like middle ground of like stepmom in a way to Mulan and Jet. And I'm like, and then my dad is coming around and my little brother. And so my busyness, like where I feel like my work needs to be focused, is I'm trying to balance how to grow our company and build these amazing relationships here, but then also like, wow, I need to also build my family.
Yeah.
And you and I are both like, dude, we're the leaders of both.
Yeah.
Right. And we're like, oh my God. And so for me, I'm trying to figure out like, I don't want the busyness at home to feel like business. right? And it can feel like, but dude, I'm sitting there with my family, like building calendars and shit. That feels like business to me. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, hey, what time's basketball? Am I carpooling? Hey, Haley, are you driving them on Wednesday morning?
Yeah.
So but I don't want the busyness of family to feel like business.
Yeah.
And it is. And so I'm trying to figure out how to like dissect this and make it fun and make it to where like everyone feels fulfilled and we're getting shit done and we're on point, and you weren't late to your practice because we had that organized and everyone was fed tonight because we knew what we were having for dinner. And this is the first time in my life that I'm like, has it always been like this? Or is this new for me? Like, is this a new chapter in my life that I'm feeling this pressure? Or maybe I'm leveled up. My leadership is different and I'm trying to like really lead my family. I don't know if I'm winning. I don't know if I'm succeeding or failing. I'm just like, I'm probably failing more than winning right now because I feel like I just discovered this. So when you brought up like busyness and business, I think that some of our listeners will probably immediately snap to real estate or whatever their business is right now. Where it resonated with me was at home. I'm the busiest I've ever been with my family, and it's starting to feel like business. And I don't want it to feel that way at all because it's like task oriented. And did you clean your room? I told you to. So I'm like managing my son. I told you to do that. I got to hold you accountable. It was on your list and I'm telling you to clean your room and you didn't. Then what am I going to do to hold you accountable so that you keep doing this work? And don't send that text yet. You need to make sure you have that as a phone call because it's going to teach you life lessons. You can't be hiding behind. And it's like, and then all of a sudden it's 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And then I pull my computer up. And it's like too late to really start communicating with people in here. You and I will chat at night sometimes, but it's like, so I'm in this point, and I'll let you know when I get there. But and what I'm doing to get there. But that's been a fucking like serious struggle for me lately, big time, because the busyness at home is starting to feel like business at home. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm feeling you on a like, we're all going through the same thing. I think it's just a different manifestation of it. The way you go through it is different than I, but I think we can all help each other. And like, one of the things is actually talking about it.
Oh yeah.
So like, this is really therapy, And the thing I was thinking about when you were saying that was like, I have to start saying no. Like, for example,
powerful word.
Yeah. Well, when you say no to something, you say yes to something. When you say yes to something, you say no to something. And I used to use that in fitness. It's like when you say yes to eating extra pizza, you're saying no to your abs.
Explain what you mean by like, so dive into that a little bit more.
Yeah. Like if I'm saying yes to partying and going out at night, well, I'm saying no to getting a good night's sleep, which means I'm not going to have as much energy the next day. Right. And then same token, when I say yes to my family, I might have to say no to a client, But it's like, what's most important to you? And the thing I was thinking about was like, I worked all last weekend. I've had a nonstop busy. I was going to take Wednesday off this week. And then all of a sudden, hey, can I see this home? Can I see that home? And it's like, I have to start setting boundaries, AKA setting no, which means I'm saying yes to having more peace in my life, being more patient with my kids, with my wife, all this stuff. I've noticed I got done with work last night at like 7. It was probably a 12-hour day or more. Well, I was up at 5:30 in the gym, So like it was a 14-hour day basically. And the first thing I wanted to do was pour a glass of whiskey. And I'm in the shower and I'm like, that's all I can think about. And I've never been a drinker. I was a party drinker. But it was never like
me too.
I would want to drink to be around people and go out and all that stuff. But it was never like oh man, I want to sit on the couch and have a whiskey. Or have 3.
Take the edge off.
Yeah, like, and I was thinking about something Mikey said. He said, I don't drink anymore because of that. I was doing that for a while. And when you were talking about the busyness with your kids, I think when we don't set boundaries, that's the key. And then the thought came to me of like a Sabbath, a rest day. Like you think every major religion says take a day off. It's like, okay, God created the world and he rested on the 7th day. I don't think he needed rest, but I think he was setting the example for what we need. And I was like, man, I haven't taken a day off.
Like a proper day off.
Yeah. And the other piece of it is like, my wife never gets time off.
So there's guilt there too.
Well, it's just like, we're both hard workers. but like also we don't maybe know how to say no yet in that side of our lives. So like busyness can kind of become like this warm blanket of like, this is what I've always done. But like, I also know where that road leads into burnout, into exhaustion, or getting injured.
Yeah.
And that's where like an injury or getting sick is a gift because it forces you to slow down. So that's what I'm thinking of. It's like maybe and maybe it's an assistant. Maybe you're doing too much here at the office. Because I know you got 50, 60 people that are looking at you every day. Hey, phone's ringing nonstop. So it's like, well, I can't not be dad. I can't not be husband. I can't not be, there for my people. But like, maybe it's I need to start saying no or creating boundaries around it where I only work till 5 o'clock at night or whatever that is.
Yeah.
And I did that in my coaching business and my training business. I would shut my day off and it gave me so much liberty. But now I think it's even more important. It's almost like I have to be much more diligent with my time.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like, that's why I asked you last year. I was like, I need a desk. I need like a space.
Yeah.
Like I need like maybe a quiet space now,
Yeah.
Anyways, that's where my head's going, bro. Like,
Yeah.
And I hope this helps somebody. Like, I think me and you are just processing this as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's why this is starting to resonate with people is because it's like, we're just trying to be honest here.
Yeah.
And like we talk about honesty all the time. I think the first place you got to be honest with is yourself.
Yeah.
If you're lying to yourself, you damn well are lying to other people.
Everyone.
Yeah. So like,
yeah,
looking yourself in the mirror is one of the hardest things you can do. But I'm at a place now where I'm like, hey, what's up? I don't want to go down this road. I see where this road is going because I've been down this road. So like, let's go right instead of going left. And I think that is, maybe it is hiring an assistant. Maybe it is delegating more. Maybe
Absolutely.
it is. And like
that will, I think, I mean, just thinking, just advice, like brotherly advice to you, and we can chat more about this offline, but like, you're also in this phase where you've had a wonderful amount of success quickly, right? Because of your work ethic and how you show up, your appearance, you're sharp, you're articulate. Like, you check all these boxes that when you go meet a client, they're like, oh, fuck, yes, thank God. I finally found somebody who's competent and can do this. And you just, exude that energy of like, I'm the man that can get this done. But you can only do so much. And I ran into that as a buyer's agent and realtor is you do have a cap.
Yeah.
Like you do hit your ceiling on vol, and then that's where like luxury comes in. You start watching Selling Sunset and all this shit of like, wow, well then the only way to make more money now is, okay, if I'm doing 30 or 40 deals a year and I'm here, well, I'm averaging 650 a home or whatever. The only way to make more money now is higher price points. Right? Like, because now my margins are going to increase, which will inevitably end up happening, or you start to delegate out.
Yeah.
And that's how B1 kind of came to what it was, is we were like, we need more people helping with this when we started dishing clients and whatnot. But like, this is something where I got humbled. I went out to the Zillow offices.
Yeah.
And I got humbled really quick. And it wasn't a sense of we're not doing great, or we're not a great team with great culture, and all that stuff was highlighted, and we're doing really good work here. But where I got humbled was when people started talking, like real business people, executives started talking about scalability. Right? And here I'm like thinking like I'm almost tapped in multiple ways. And we're figuring out new SOPs and how to structure certain things. And then you go talk to a company who just launched 43 new markets and this, that, and the other. And they've got hundreds of loan officers and all these teams. And it's like, oh my gosh, like there are men and women and companies out here doing spectacular shit. I mean, things that so it's possible. You just have to dissect like the difference between busy work and I'm got a bunch of tasks that aren't going to get me anywhere. And so I'm like, and I felt that's why it's a very interesting topic today of like, are you really busy, or are you just creating a bunch of tasks for yourself and you want to look busy, right? Or is it really driving you to where this goal is? And I think without knowing where you're going though, you don't really know what tasks to set because you don't know where you're driving. And that was really eye-opening for me when I got back to the airport and the flight was delayed or whatever.
Yeah.
Now I'm just sitting in this airport for like 4 hours. So I always go, whenever that happens, I usually go and get a book. And I'm not a guy that will go buy like hardcover books and like sit down and my mind just goes so crazy that when I'm reading a book, I start to, especially if it's like a self-help book or a business book, I'll get 20 pages in and be like, I'll get motivated, be like, shut this, I just need to start working. Right. But I'm like, I wonder if I can just, for the first time in my life, I'm almost 40. I'm a reader, but I'm a reader of content, not like literature. Do you know what I mean? I'm not historically a person that can sit there and go through 200 pages of something nice and calmly. Yeah. Like I'm like, oh, I got to go do something else. Right. Whether it's ADD or whatever, I'm sure a lot of people can fucking relate to that because that's like reading really does kind of like it elevates you. This is you're working out your like most important muscle in your body. Yeah. You're exercising it. That's why people get tired. That's why people will joke about like, it's like taking melatonin. Yeah. So if you really need to fall asleep, just grab the book that's been sitting there for 3 years next to your bed and start reading 10 pages and you're just like not out, Yeah. And so I'm like, I'm going to just try a new challenge for me. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to look at a book. I've got several hours to just sit here. I'm going to really find one. So I found this book and it's all about professional growth. There's like a series of them like from Harvard Business School, and I don't have to get the cover of it, but I'm like, I'm just going to start reading it. No matter how good it is or how shitty it is or how boring it is or how exciting it is, I'm just going to read it cover to cover as a goal of like, I'm just going to finish a book because I have probably 15 half-read books in my house, right? Like where I just shut them and that's it.
I used to have bookshelves full of those.
Like, me too. Literally, I've gotten rid of them.
I just order all of them and then I just gave them away.
Just don't read them, right? And so I'm reading this and I'm like, oh my God, like whether it be a sign or whatever, all of this book is talking about is what we're talking about right now, which is you're hitting these plateaus in your professional life and or personal life. And but you have goals and aspirations to be much greater. Yeah. You're looking through the curtain and you're like, well, how did they get that? How did she get this? We're all human beings. There's 24 hours in a day. You're not better than me. You're not smarter than me. You're not faster than me. You're not better looking than me, but you're killing it. Yeah. And so it starts to go like how to really break it down to like the first step of doing this and the fucking journey. Yeah. That it is of like self-development and how it has nothing to do with your company, it's all about like pointing the finger back at you and being like, okay, how do I get better? That's so good. How do I get better? Yeah. Right. And what do I suck at? And having real critical feedback of like, what do I suck at? And I started like, as I'm reading this, I'm like, oh my God, I know I suck at this, and this. And so it starts talking about delegating. Yeah. Like if you suck at marketing, you need a marketing director. If you suck at multitasking, then you need to develop a system or get some ops person to help you, because a lot of the minds like ours, you've got all the stuff, but we also just try to do it all. And I think we've talked about this before of like, I'm just going to wear every hat and do it. And once you start to like let go of those things and let the smart, talented people in those areas start to build them for you, with you, all of a sudden your life becomes easier. Your balance is better. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I need to ask, like, maybe I just need to be honest with Haley and just tell her I need more of this from you. Maybe I need to go to my kids and say, hey, you're killing me with this. I need you two to start doing these things. You're 15 and 14 years old. Yeah. I can't be doing it. Like, maybe I need to go to my business partners and say, hey guys, I really suck at this. I need help. Like dude, I mean, I'm already 150 pages into this book. Yeah. And I got it on Tuesday. That is a 1 off for me. Right? Because I'm like, dude, I'm like picking it up for like 5 minutes and just like knocking out like 2-3 pages and being like, okay. I'm like addicted to reading it because it's everything that I've been going through. And I do believe that with books, sometimes you find one and it just speaks to you. Yeah. But I'll share it with you when we're done here.
Yeah, please, man.
Yeah, it's the professional growth. You can't get it on And you can't get it on Audible. You have to buy it, which is, it's called Your Professional Growth. It's the HBR guide to your professional growth. Learn new skills, develop your potential, stay relevant. It's cool.
Dude, so yesterday was our team meeting, and I was thinking about this. Like, we talk a lot about the nuts and bolts of how to do real estate. One thing we don't really talk about, and I hope this helps somebody, is if you want more, you've got to become more. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you pray for more faith, and God gives you an opportunity to have more faith. He doesn't give you just more faith as you pray for more wealth. He gives you the opportunity to create more wealth. So that means you've got to grow. It's like a hermit crab. Like, your shell's got to get bigger, right? That hermit crab, it gets bigger and it sheds its shell, and it's vulnerable for a while. Then it goes and finds a bigger shell that it grows into, and the process repeats itself. And I was just thinking about myself. I'm like, that's really awesome. I've grown out of my shell. I'm in uncomfortable territory right now. Mm-hmm. And my natural state is to just work harder, pound more caffeine, and just do more, Yeah, right? As we're drinking caffeine. And it's like, well, that's not going to work. This is a new chapter. Like, I have more on my plate now than I've ever had. So it's really cool that that's confirmation that I have grown. But now I'm in, like, it's kind of like the success ladder. Like, you go up and then it levels off and you plateau. And then there's a little dip and then you go up again. And when you dip, that requires you to have more knowledge or difference. And when you were talking, it was like, oh my gosh, I got to take my own advice. Mm-hmm. And it's always to slow down. Mm-hmm. The answer is to always slow down. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to speed up and go faster and do more. But like what you're doing, you're slowing down. Reading is like so hard for me. So what do? I listen to an audiobook while I'm working out, AKA doing more. And so it's like, well, what if I just did, like you said, like 2 to 3 pages, mm-hmm. starting small? Like, that's another thing. Like, even like in the Monday group we have, like, the things
which is really cool, by the way. Yeah. So I appreciate you.
Not me.
And Michael.
This is all of us. This is not just me.
But still, it took someone.
Yeah, for sure.
To say, hey, I have the courage to do that. And I've been stuck on this since you said it. And I want to say it because I'll forget it. When you said, when you pray for more faith, it's given to you in opportunities, right? Like, so I definitely did that, right? I opened up to that a little bit in that meeting. Yeah. And now, since then, dude, I have anyone from Michael to Sean to Haley's friends, Matt and Maddie, other friends that we have, Gunnar, Lindsay, everyone. Hey, come to church with us on Sunday. Come to church. So I'm getting now more invitations than I've ever gotten, right, to go to a service. And then I was like, well, and now I'm watching them on the YouTube, so like the live stream of it. So I'm getting like closer. Then I come and I'm sitting with you guys on Monday. Yeah. So I'm like taking the steps, but it's so funny because you do get the opportunities for more when you ask it. But it isn't like, oh man, I hope I have more money and like a bag of money just falls out of the sky. Yeah. It's like, oh hey, you just have to go say yes to this meeting. Yeah. Or you need to go take this showing. Or you need to answer that phone call. Or you need to lift this person up today. You don't know, and you just have to. Yeah. It's crazy.
We'll go back to that lesson. Like, you say yes to who you've always known you're meant to be. Mm-hmm. You're saying no to your old life. Mm-hmm. The partying, the whatever it is, all the negative stuff. And it's like, I'm like, okay, why do I have this urge to drink right now? It's like
stress, probably.
Yeah, like and not that is inherently wrong. I don't believe that. Like, I enjoy alcohol occasionally, but like this has been like every night, and I'm like,
and it's just like a glass.
Like
on
I
the
need
rocks.
to say no to that, And then it was available. We had my son's birthday party, so we had a bunch of stuff left over from that.
Yeah,
and it's
there.
Like, it's just there. So it's like also putting roadblocks up in your way that inhibits you from getting to where you need to go. So it's just like there's a lot of stuff coming to fruition of like, and then like in the Monday group, it's like the questions I've come in with, everything I've said of like, hey, you should do this. I'm like, dang, I got to take my own advice. Yeah. Hey, this would be a good idea. Oh, and like, so reading, I'm like, man.
Oh no, it's
like slowing down to me is probably one of the hardest things that.
Well, I did it at night, which has also been challenging in the past because typically at night you get only a certain amount of time with your person. Yeah. And so if you're laying in bed and the first thing you do is open a book,
it's like you're in your own little
you
world.
might just look like you're ignoring her. Yeah. Right. And so I've been lucky enough to where, Haley's so tired at night with with Elle that if I go upstairs at 10:30 or whatever, she's already like out. So I'll set the same timer that Alvi will set here, this exact one, for 30 minutes, and just be like, I'm just gonna read for 30. But it's instead of scrolling houses or doing usually will manifest before I go to bed, and I'll look at mansions and cool shit in Florida and land, and I will always try to like manifest like this. I'm going to be there. So usually before sleep, that's what I'm looking at, are just like dope houses everywhere. But instead, I'm like, I'm just going to work on some self-improvement, and I'm going to do 30 minutes a night, 7 days a week, and just see where I'm for a year and just see where this goes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to try it, dude. And there was a sentence in there that said, death to your TV in this book, like death to your TV.
Yeah.
You will see a change, and you give yourself a year. Death to it. Now, are you going to stop watching games? Are you going to stop watching? No. But like that late night, like that hour and a half where you're just like sitting on the couch or you're laying in bed on your computer or your TV in your room and you're on there for an hour. They were basically in this book saying how that is like a killer of your brain and your mood and your energy, and it just depletes you of your dopamine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was watching a video last night actually, and this guy was talking about how he just doesn't drink anymore. And he was a marathon runner, Ironman, all this other stuff. He's like, it's just not that important to me. Like, it's more important for me to get a good night's sleep than it is to, have a couple drinks or whatever it is. And I was thinking about that in terms of, like when you're not on purpose, when you don't know what you're meant to do, all those distractions come in.
Oh, they're easy.
And it's much easier to say no when you know what you're meant to do.
Yep.
And maybe that's a good place to wrap. But like, man, this is therapy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
You too, brother.
Yes, sir. Episode 11, Busyness is not business. Peace.
You.